To the January 12th, 2021 Henderson County Fiscal Court meeting. It's good to say the year 2021. Hopefully it will be a little bit more fun than 2020 was, although we're off to an interesting start, are we not? My gosh. The Fiscal Court is glad to be here with all of us. More fun than 2021. Citizens watching on Facebook Live, we're glad you're with us. And we will begin as we always do with an invocation, so please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, please watch over this body as we deliberate important decisions on behalf of the citizens of Henderson County. Please look out for our first responders, our healthcare workers, our law enforcement officials, all of our vulnerable population as we continue to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. Please watch over our men and women in uniform serving, both here and overseas. And please watch out for all the citizens of Henderson County as we hope to do their work. Say all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States
of America,
to the republic,
to the republic,
one
which
nation,
it stands,
under God,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
liberty and justice.
liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Master Southern.
Here.
Master Berry.
Here.
Master Moran.
Here.
Master Putman.
Here.
Master McCollum.
Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have before you the minutes of the December 22nd, 2020 Fiscal Court meeting. After a period of review, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
Move to accept.
We have a motion by Master Putman, a second by Master Southern. Any corrections, clarifications, or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you, and we will go into some bid opening for road department materials, and Mr. Hubiak has in front of him the submitted bids, and we will turn it over to him.
Thank you, Judge. First bid opening is going to be from Ohio Valley Drainage. This is for the N12 pipe that we currently use in Henderson County. I'm going to read these numbers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them for the price, the size, and the price for a 20-foot stick, if that's acceptable to everybody. Any questions? Okay. So start off for 4-inch double wall, $31.50, 6-inch double wall, $68.70, 8-inch double wall, $102 even, 10-inch double wall, $135.60. 12-inch double wall, $150.73. 15-inch double wall, $189.68. 18-inch double wall, $244.92. 24-inch double wall, $419.75. 30-inch double wall, $645.25. 36-inch double wall, $814.50. 42-inch double wall, $1,040. 48-inch double wall, $1,232.75. And 60-inch double wall, $2,127.75. Any questions? Ohio Valley Drainage seems to be the only bidder on our N12 pipe. The next bid is from Moit Concrete. This is a concrete bid. $3,500 PSA or PSI, Class A concrete, $123.50. 4,000 PSI, $125.50. Diggable flowable fill is $84, and structural flowable fill is $88, and that price is per cubic yard. Moit Concrete seems to be the only bidder on concrete this year. Next bid is from Hazex Construction. This is a rock bid. And this will be price per ton. And it'll be, first number I read will be for pickup. The second number I read will be for delivery to the road department. And the third number I read will be for delivered to any point within the county of Henderson. Number 3 rock, $18.40, $21.54, $22.54. 57s, $19, $22.14, $23.14. 68s, $19, $22.14, $23.14. 9Ms, $21.82, $24.96, $25.96. DGA, $17, $20.14, $21.14. 10-inch riprap, $21.29, $24.43, $25.43. 12-inch riprap, $21.29, $24.43, $25.43. 18-inch riprap, $21.29, $24.43, and $25.43. The next bid is from Scotty's Contracting and Stone. I'm going to read the first number will be pickup. The second big office will be delivered to the road department. They did not give a price for the road delivered anywhere within the county. Number 3's $13. Delivered to the road department, $19. 57s, $14 and $20. 68s, $14.50 and $20.50. 9Ms, $15 and $21. DGA, $11.20 and $17.20. 10-inch riprap, $16 and $22. 12-inch riprap, $16 and $22. 18-inch riprap, $18.50 and $25. The next bid is from Audubon Sand and Gravel. They bid pickup only. Number threes, $17.75. 57s, $18. 68, $19. 9Ms, $19. DGA, $17.50. 12-inch riprap, $23. Next bid is for Mulzer crushed stone. I will read you three numbers, cross per item, pickup, delivered to the road department, and delivered to any point in the county. Number threes, 1845, 2240, 2270. 57s, 1845, 2240, 2270. 68s, 2220, 2415, 2445. 9Ms, 2110, 2505, 2535. DGA, 1780, 2175, 2205. 10-inch riprap, 2235, 2730, 2760. 12-inch riprap, 2235, 2730, 2760. 18-inch riprap, 2340, 2835, 2865. Fill sand, 1130, 1525, 1555. Mortar sand, 1470, 1865, 1895. Next bid is from Jaeger Materials. This is for bituminous concrete, asphalt. Loaded onto the truck at their batch plant in Owensboro. Surface is $70.50. Binder is $66. Base is $61.50. Applied to the roadways. Bituminous concrete surface, $55 per ton. Concrete binder, $53.95. Base, $53.35. And for a shoulder, 1 inch, or 1 foot wide by 4 inches thick, DGA, they're $34.75 per ton. Next bid is from J.H. Rudolph. Bituminous seal, chip and seal for emulsified oil. Our RS2 is $2.85 per gallon. MS2 is $2.85 per gallon. Price per square yard of single chip and seal is $2.50. Price per square yard of double chip and seal is $4. This is J.H. Rudolph. Again, this is their bituminous concrete asphalt. Pickup at their batch plant, $67 for surface. Binder is $63 and base is $59. High performance cold mix is $105 a ton. Applied to the roadways, surface $79 per ton, binder $72.25, base $62, shoulder $41 per ton. Next bid is from Rogers Group. This is for bituminous concrete asphalt. Pickup price at their batch plant, surface $57, binder $54.50, base $53.75. Applied to the roadways, surface $58.09, binder $55.44, base $54.99. Rock shoulder, $23.25 per ton. This last bid is from RB Aggregates, Paving and Construction out of Greenville. For bituminous concrete asphalt, loaded onto the truck at the batch plant is $64 a ton. Applied to the roadways, bituminous concrete surface, $65.25, binder $60.95, base $60 even, $35 a ton for the shoulder rock. That's all the bids I have at this time. I'd like to ask the court for me to take these under advisement, put together the spreadsheet so that we can come back and make the recommendation to fiscal court for this calendar year's materials for the road department.
I would make that motion to allow him to do that.
I don't even know if we need a motion, but I'll take a motion by Master McCollum, second by Master Barry. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we'll be looking
Thank
forward to
you.
Bill's recommendations.
Hey, Bill, is
Yes,
this,
sir.
these are all or nothing bids?
Is what now?
Is it an all or nothing bid, or can we pick and choose what we get from who?
Well, we try to pick and choose who we get for what. You know, as you well know, that the majority of all of our bituminous concrete is binder, unless we're doing a road construction project where we use base material also. So we will look everything over. We try to stay with a vendor because I think we get a better product, but we have the right to pick and choose. We've not, very, very few times do we ever have to use a surface material, and that's normally when we have to do a subdivision. And when we go into subdivision, that also includes milling the road off. So it's a whole different animal. So we get the ability to pick and choose. If there's that much of a difference, we will.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
I will be sending all the magistrates out copies of the bid sheets. So you have it for your info.
Thank you, Kurt.
Right as fast as he was reading.
Okay. Moving on, I'd like to ask fiscal court for permission to purchase a 2021 F-550 diesel cabin chassis off of the state contract pricing. This is to upgrade the 2000 F-450 mechanics truck. We need to get a new mechanics truck into the road department here. And with this is just the cab and chassis. It's not the bed. We will review what the bids are on the state contract as far as the mechanic bid. And we will also look at what's out there on the open market. We haven't decided whether we want to bid it or not. But the 2000 unit, the crane is undersized. All the material on it is, it's 21 years old. So it's time to get it
And
replaced.
this is accounted for in your budget, correct, Bill?
Yes, sir. This is a budgeted item.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Master McCollum, a second by Master Perry. Any other questions on that?
Will we use any of the equipment off of this truck, or are we gonna sell the old truck? Is that?
No, the old truck will be traded down into to Bobby Proctor, who's our fabricator, for him to utilize. He's currently using a hand-me-down van from the jail that is in dire need to be replaced.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Just for everybody's knowledge, we're looking at about $44,000 expenditure on the state contract for this cab and chassis. We have 2 people on the state bidding. I have got one of their quotes back. The other Ford dealership has not got back to me what they're pricing yet. So. All right. The next item I have is a resolution of surplus property. We've held on to the old radio system as long as we needed to. I have checked with emergency management, and Kenny Garrett has no use for them. He has enough surplus radios should he need anything else in his emergency preparedness. So he said it was okay to go ahead and let these go. I would like to have them surplused out. We have the new radio system with all of our units, which matches in with the 911 system. And that's where we need to be at. And so these units are outlived their usefulness for us. They've been replaced, and we would like to surplus them out via Brent can take pictures of them and put them on govdeals.com.
We have a resolution to read. Before we do that, anybody have questions about this? In your packets, there should be a long list of these radio units. Okay, I'll have the clerk read the resolution, please.
Resolution declaring certain county property to be surplus and providing for the disposition thereof. Whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court is the owner of certain personal property that is no longer of use to the county, whereas pursuant to KRS 67.0802, the fiscal court finds that it's in the best interest of the county to deem the property as surplus and provide for the disposition thereof. Whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court wishes to offer the said personal property be sold at public auction in accordance with the law at the discretion of the Henderson County Judge Executive. Now therefore be it resolved by the Fiscal Court, County of Henderson, Kentucky as follows. Pursuant to KRS 67.0802, the personal property on the list attached here to incorporated herein is declared to be surplus. It shall be sold at a duly advertised public or online auction pursuant to all applicable laws at such time and place and in such manner as shall be arranged by the County Judge Executive. The County Judge Executive or his designate is hereby authorized to make said arrangements.
A motion approved.
So move.
We have a motion by Master Puppin, a second by Master Moran, if that's okay. Ms. Moran, I'll record you as a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you and good luck, Bill.
Thank you.
Value back on those. You have in your packets the sheriff's monthly reports, and Colonel Crafton is with us. Anything you would like to add to these, David?
No.
Any questions about the sheriff's reports?
I move we accept them.
Second.
We have a motion by Master Putman, a second by Master Berry. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any other news from the sheriff's department? Colonel Crafton, you want to throw in here while we're with you?
Yeah, thank you.
Any other updates? Nope. Okay. Go to Treasurer Ryder. Any fund transfers or claims, please?
I have no transfers. I have 2 claims. The first one to Visa in the amount of $4,974.16. $4,667.16 of this is to come from the road fund for employee safety awards. The remaining $307 is to come from the general fund for fiscal court advertising and judge's office supply appropriation lines. In regards to the road fund employee safety awards, if you'll recall back early December, I requested a check be made to Columbia for employee safety awards. As it turned out, they could not accept a check, so we had to use the credit card. So this isn't double, this is a one-time purchase. Also, from the jail fund to US Bank, which is their credit card, in the amount of $1,536.23. The majority of this is to come from the appropriation lines of office supplies, building repairs and maintenance, and equipment repairs and maintenance from the jail. This is all I have.
Entertain a motion to pay those claims.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Master McCollum, a second by Master Southard. Any other questions of Brenda? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. I'm going to call an executive session after we do good of the county, just FYI. And we will not have any votes taken out of that executive session, and all we'll do is come out of executive session and adjourn. So Bess, just so you know, there's not going to be any action based on this executive session. But before we do that, I'll let everybody know about 3 judges' appointments to local boards and commissions based on the recommendation of Tourist Commission Executive Director Abby Dixon and her board. We are filling 2 slots on the Tourist Commission with Jamie Lyles, who will be taking Rodney Edwards' place. Jamie is the marketing director for Ellis Park. And Supan Patel, who owns Sleep Inn, will be replacing Nick Patel, who owns Holiday Inn and did own Holiday Inn and is now retired. So Jamie Lyles and Supan Patel will be joining the Tourist Commission. I'd like to reappoint Kenny Martin to the Human Rights Commission. As you know, we reconstituted the Human Rights Commission last year, and they've done a good job of revitalizing that board, and Kenny would like to serve again. And Reverend Johnson, head of the commission, recommended Kenny Martin be reappointed, so I did that. And it's time to reappoint the Ethics Board. Bob McIndoe, his term has expired, and we're going to be appointing Roy Pullum to the Ethics Board. He has served before, and he's very passionate about being on the Ethics Board. And so I've known Roy a long time. I'm going to reappoint him. He's a retired educator in the community. So just FYI on those. Quickly, I'll go to good of the county. Master Putman, anything for good of the county?
Thank you, Judge. You know, we've had a very interesting past couple of weeks, to say the least. I think the high point is that COVID vaccines here in our community, it seems to be going, from all indications, from what I understand, going pretty well. Other than that, I hope everybody had some good holidays, and all's good in the forest.
Thank you, Butch. Master McCullum, good of the county.
Okay. I'm not sure, but I was just trying to type something to Steve. I think some of those appointments we need to approve. I may be wrong, but I think we do. So I was trying to type to see if we don't need to approve your appointments. I think the fiscal court's supposed to do that.
Those are all, Charlie,
Yeah.
Those were all judges' appointments, not fiscal court appointments.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't leaving something out. So that's okay. I don't know. I'm a little troubled by what's going on in our country. I'm troubled with the COVID expanse. It is becoming overwhelming to our hospitals, to the nation, and people still seem to reject that it's real. They are, in my opinion, doing some really silly things. Our legislature is saying that they want to take away the rights of the governor for emergency management. They want to impeach him now. We have a court system that takes care of those kind of things. And the courts have already ruled on the issues that they're bringing up. Our legislature has a whole lot more important things to be doing than to play in these politics. And they're saying that they're doing this because their constituency is out here telling them this. Well, they're part of their constituency too. All of us are. And I think we should be screaming and hollering and begging them to do their job. I've talked about this, and I know this frustrates you all for me to keep bringing it up, but I think you got to keep the squeaky wheel's the only one that gets grease. The state police need to be fully funded. Our roads need to be taken care of. And last year, the head of the Senate, I was there. He promised he was going to take care of that. Then he changed his mind and tried to take the right of appointment for the Department of Transportation away from the governor. I'm tired of this crap. It's wrong. They need to do their job. They've created these problems with our retirement system. I know they allowed one of my friends to buy 5 years for $11,000. The actuarial should have been about $70,000. It's other people's money they've allowed to give away. They've let the legislature, people work in the legislature for 20 years, 30 years, and then get a job as a circuit judge and have a retirement of about $90,000 a year for the rest of their life. And their wives get their health insurance. They have helped create this problem, and yet we keep kicking the can down the road, and it's really putting a burden on us as a fiscal court to decide how we manage our money without knowing what's going to happen in the retirement system. And if we think we have it bad, I'm on the board at the health department. Every year for the last 2 years, they've cut back on the 50% retirement. Over 30% of the health departments will be broke in 3 months if they do that. And we've all seen how important the health departments are. I mean, without our health department right now, I promise you, we would be in a terrible state. They've done a yeoman's job. I can't praise the health department and their staff anymore. I think we need to be squeaking and tell them we need the infrastructure. We need them to pass that. We need them to take care of our retirement system and give us something so we can plan for our future. Now, Henderson County is in pretty good shape financially. I'm not saying that, but it really makes it hard for me to make long-term decisions when I don't know what the long-term plans are going to be. And I think they owe it to us to come up with solutions for this rather than every year, given the health departments, cutting it back. And the health departments have to sit there for 3 months waiting to decide whether they're going to give them an extension or not. It's not fair to the counties to do this. We didn't get us here. The infrastructure, and I've said it before, it'll be 50 years after the Green River Spotsville Bridge was put on the 10-year plan. 50 years it took them to build that after putting it on the plan. That is wrong. It's way underfunded. The public doesn't understand this. And we need to be, as a group, I would make a motion that we write everybody, the legislature, the governor, and both the Senate and the House, and say, hey, please take care of these issues. They are imperative that we take care of them. So I think that's important. I think everybody now knows that the stipend for the sheriff's office is illegal, and we would have to pay retirement on that. I think it was, Brad, wasn't it KRS 56 point something that does?
Yeah, the stipend for Kentucky State Police was specifically designated by the state legislature. There is no concurrent stipend ability for cities and counties, at least for counties, I should say. I'm sorry.
Right.
So if we gave the stipend, I was going to bring that up. Any stipend we would give in that vein would have to be taxed like income.
Right.
And I'll get into some alternatives when it gets to be my turn, but
Okay.
yeah, you're
Well,
right about, we can't do the same thing that the Kentucky State Police does.
Got you. Okay. I also think there are some penalties for raises over 10% shortly before retirement. I think we got to watch that too, because we were looking at an 18% raise overall. And so I don't think, we may need to take this over some time period, not just kaboom, we got to do it. I would like to have the information on all the salaries for all our employees for the last 20 years and see how we developed where we developed. I don't have that information. All I've got is budgets for the last 10 years. And no disrespect to the sheriff's office, but the sheriff's office has had a 40% increase in salaries on the big budget scale, whereas the department heads have had only an 18% increase. Renice's office has played just basically flat. I don't know if she's done it, but she has done fantastic job. And I really haven't compared the road department and the county employees, but I will. But I'll need some information from Brenda, your office, to see. I need some time to look at all these things to make a valid decision. That's all I want to do. Other than me being maybe a little crazy, all's good in the fifth, and I appreciate it.
Other than all that, all's good in the fifth.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And I'll talk a little bit about the stipend thing here in a moment.
Okay.
Master Southern.
I tend to agree with Charlie, and I guess I'm kind of a little crazy too. So I'll let that be short, and all's good in the third.
Master Moran.
I agree that these are trying times, and we do need to, as individuals, we do need to speak up and for things that we feel that are right. I agree with that. I would like to thank Jailer Brady for her assistance with the Women's Shelter for Women and Children. They sanitized that facility after one of their employees tested positive. And Amy and her staff at the detention center have really been impacted by COVID, and I truly appreciate all that they are doing. All's well in the second.
Thank you, Master Moran. And Master Barrett.
Thank you, Judge. Charlie, you got some good points. Thank you for your findings there. I know you keep up with all that stuff, and they're well taken.
I
know
can't
last year. Go ahead, Charlie.
I'm sorry. I can't keep up with it all. I wish I knew it all, but I don't. But I know enough to be dangerous.
You do a pretty good job. Okay. Anyway, good points. And last year was tough, and I hope this coming year is going to be better with the vaccinations. I hope everybody takes them. And you're right. People are just not taking it serious enough. And, just let's hope the vaccinations work. That's all I can say. My phone's been pretty quiet the last couple of weeks, so that's good. And Judge, everything's good in District 1.
Thank you. Mr. Gold, anything for good of the county?
Those things are good in the county attorney's office, like all the parts of county government. COVID's been a struggle, and I'm just really happy at the way that our staff has stepped up and been able to adjust to all the changes that we've had. And one thing that I was thinking as we were doing good of the county here, I'm really proud to be part of this fiscal court. There are disagreements without being disagreeable. There is not contemptuousness. And I think so much of what we see nationally and in the state is people demonizing people that disagree with them or don't look at a problem the exact same way. And I think if more people realize that a lot of us agree on what the problems are, we only disagree on what the solution may be, that can lead to a lot better understanding and actual discussions about solutions rather than kind of just demonizing the other side. And that's something that this fiscal court has always stayed away from. And I'm really proud of that and proud to be part of this group. And I think the folks in Frankfurt and Washington can learn a whole lot from looking at local leaders like yourselves that seek solutions first.
Thank you, Mr. Gold. I was thinking the same thing. Maybe at some point, our friends in Frankfurt and Washington will follow the model set by Henderson County Fiscal Court in deliberating and being disagreeing without being disagreeable, having civil discourse, and thinking about the good of the community rather than political points. So I agree. And I will say, all of Charlie's points are well taken and are not new and are at the forefront of the brains of every judge, executive, and fiscal court in the state of Kentucky, guaranteed. In the last week and a half, I've had been on board discussions for various boards I'm on, including Kentuckians for Better Transportation and the Kentucky Judge Executives Association, as well as been in contact with our friends at CAECO. And the very issues that Charlie mentioned are universal and in the faces of the state legislature. However, on sobering news, I get every indication that this General Assembly session is not going to involve any unusual measures when it comes to the budget or pension contributions. One of the reasons is it's a short session. It really wasn't designed for major changes in the financial model of the state. There is still a chance that modernization of how we fund our roads is out there. Sal Santoro, Representative Santoro, who we've all heard at Kentuckians for Better Transportation conferences, and is probably the leader in introducing legislation that for the last several sessions that would increase the gas tax and increase fees for electric vehicles to help catch Kentucky up on the huge hole we find ourselves in when it comes to infrastructure. We'll reintroduce the bill, tweaked some early February when the legislature really gets into deciding what it's going to do and what it's not going to do. There is also a good chance that the legislature will adjust the language in state law regarding historic horse racing, which is very important to our community and surrounding communities. So I take hope that those two things might be addressed. Anything else, I would say, is probably not going to happen this session. I would suspect that almost immediately the negotiations on the budget will go to conference committee, which means a very select few people in the legislature will decide what the one-year budget is going to be and hopefully get to next assembly session in 2022, which will be a long session better designed for budgeting. So don't be surprised if there's not much movement or any changes to the budget. That's going to be what it's going to be. And one of the reasons we formed the West Kentucky Coalition is to urge West Kentucky legislators to be eager to get into leadership in either the House or the Senate to help us have more seats at the table when those conference committees meet and on to chair committees and whatnot. And then the more the better. And I think we will have 2 West Kentuckians in those conference committees, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3, have to double check, but hopefully they're looking out for the needs of counties, not in West Kentucky, but all over the state. I've been in contact with Sheriff Brady this morning, and he is working with Heath Cox to make sure that they are of one mind when it comes to any protests in this community that may involve any kind of physical presence in or around the city hall or the courthouse. And that is, hopefully there will be nothing of the sort happen here in Henderson, but just in case, the sheriff's office and the police department are coordinating some sort of response and security plan in the very rare instance that something like that may occur. Just wanted to let you all know that. To the point about the stipend for sheriff's deputies that we had discussed, It's our determination now that we cannot do what the Kentucky State Police does, that any stipend that we would offer, any additional money we would offer to our sheriff's deputies in the form of some sort of remuneration for covering costs related to uniform expense, cleaning of vehicles, things like that, would be taxable as income, which is something we can do. The alternative in our mind is to ask the sheriff's department to fold those costs into their existing budget under supplies or uniform. They have a couple line items like that, and begin immediately to reimburse deputies for the cost of taking care of their uniforms, taking care of their cars, with some sort of reimbursement schedule that involves turning in receipts to the sheriff's department, and again, reimbursing deputies for those costs, deputies and whatever personnel has, all the personnel in the sheriff's department that has to mind their uniforms in their cars. So I'd open it up for a quick debate on whether we want to give them additional revenue to help cover those costs, or direct the sheriff's department to direct a plan to reimburse them those costs. And I would also say that there needs to be some sort of receipt situation, a receipt plan to compensate employees for the sheriff's department employees for the time it takes to clean their vehicles as well. And maybe create some sort of a common little receipt that delineates that, and that they can turn back into the sheriff's office. Any thoughts on any of this?
Brad, my understanding is a lot of times they clean those vehicles out at the road department and they're on their time, so they're getting paid.
David, do you know anything about that?
We used to get cleaned at the road department, and we would use inmate labor, but with COVID, that's been out now for a while. And most of the guys will either go to a car wash or clean them at home. Is how they're presently doing it. So, we haven't had. We used to keep supplies out at the county garage to use inmate labor and everything. And then for, I think, a couple of times, the guys may have cleaned them on their own out there, but for the most part, they clean them at home or at a car wash.
David, you all have got a little more complicated situation than just cleaning the car. You all have to inspect the vehicle, check and make sure there's nothing in it before they pick up anybody. So in case somebody tries to shove stuff down the seat or, so you all, I mean, they've got to, have that so that every time they go to court, they can tell the court, yes, every time I check it, every time. So you all got a unique situation because of drugs and different things whenever you take people to the jail. So I understand it's a little more complicated than just going and having somebody cleaning the car. The deputy themselves has to check it and make sure that that nobody put anything in there. There's no scissors or knives or handcuff keys or anything else hidden. You all live in a different world than most people.
Just to kind of tag on to that, I don't know if you can even associate how much time it would take to be doing all those things. Washing a car is one thing, but when you add on all the other extra things that Charlie just mentioned, and if he's done that 2 or 3 times a week, I guess my question would be, is there some sort of ceiling or cap, or is this kind of wide open for the amount of money we're going to allow for that?
I would think that the inspection's he's going to be on the clock. If he's taking somebody to jail and inspecting the car, then he's working.
Maybe, maybe not.
Tim's right in that when we come out and go to work, one of the things they do is inspect the back of the car. The cars that we have are outfitted with a biohazard seat or a bio seat. In other words, they take out the regular back seat and there's a flat plastic seat put in there that you can't hide anything back there as easily as you can in a regular car seat. So that helps with it, but they're supposed to check it every time when they come out. And then when you arrest somebody, it's supposed to be inspected right after they take the prisoner to the jail. So that most of that's done on duty, but the cleaning of everything, it is not done on duty. You don't want to wear regular uniform clothes. You want to wear civilian clothes while you're cleaning the car. It's
Also,
most of it will be done on duty, but as far as checking the car, but most of the cleaning and everything be done off duty.
and David, I would add one thing, and I think you'd agree to this. It's not just cleaning dirt and dust out of the back of a patrol car. Sometimes you get a lot of other things, and I won't name them here, but
Right.
you can imagine. So it's pretty tough sometimes.
Here's,
That's one of the reasons we went to those biosins. They're a cleanable surface, drain in the floorboard. We've done a lot to make it an easier thing to do, but it's still not a pleasant thing.
But you still have to get things out of there sometimes, yeah.
here's what I would suggest, just so this conversation doesn't last too long. I would ask that the fiscal court approve a motion to immediately begin to reimburse deputies for the cost of cleaning their uniforms and any receipts that they get involved in cleaning their cars, receipts. And then in addition to that, pay overtime for the hours accumulated by deputies in cleaning their cars. And, contributing more money, moving more money from other line items to the overtime line item to cover that. That'll probably be the easiest way to do that. And of course, the deputies will have to turn in proof of overtime. I'm sure you have some sort of system in place, David, for recording overtime and double checking that it's legitimate overtime. And I would ask that you continue to do that with this plan. That'll fairly compensate, I think, the employees for doing this extra work off hours, and also reimburse them for costs related to uniforms and any materials they buy to clean their cars, or if they just go through car washes, get a receipt. How does that sound?
I would make.
I'll work on.
I'm sorry, David?
I'll go ahead and work on formulating a policy on it too, so we know exactly what's expected of them as far as receipts and overtime and so forth. So.
Okay.
And I would make that motion to what Brad just said.
Second.
So we have a motion by Master McCullum to immediately begin to reimburse deputies costs related to uniform care and cleaning cars, hard copy receipts, and then also pay overtime for the labor done in cleaning their cars when they're off the clock. And that is, I'm restating that correctly, Master McCullum, right?
That is correct.
And Master Barry, that is correct as far as your second goes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions or comments about that? And we will rely on Sheriff's Department to come up with a criteria for overtime when it's approved for these purposes. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? And David, please remind the members of your team that this is not in lieu of, again, re-examining salaries when we get into budgeting time. This is, I think, a response to the fact that every magistrate agreed that leaving the cost of uniform care and cleaning their cars to deputies off hours was probably not fair to them. And we want to make sure that they don't have to do that. They don't have to incur that expense. So we understand.
Understood, much appreciated.
Okay.
And Brad, Keith is exactly right. I know he didn't go into details, but it would be hard for you to understand what these people they pick up do to the insides of those cars sometimes. It is disgusting.
That's true. Thanks, Charlie.
I bet. Okay. Other than those items, I thank you for helping us put those to bed. I'd like to make a motion. I'll make the motion to go in the executive session, and this is based on KRS 61.810.
Brad, Hubiak was raising his hands earlier before we go into session.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
go ahead, Bill. I missed you. I apologize.
No problem, Judge. I just wanted to let everybody know two things. Number one, as much as I hate to be an engineer and agree with an attorney, I have to agree with Charlie's comments earlier. But more importantly, out at the road department, we are staying focused on the needs of our community and what's ahead of us here during the winter months. We have picked up and delivered 300 tons of salt to our salt storage facility down at the Riverport. Our salt storage building at the road department is full of salt sand mixture. We have completed checking out all of our units as far as the operation of the snow plows and the salt spreaders, and hopefully we won't have to utilize any of it, but we are prepared. And this morning it was 17 degrees when I got in the truck, and it was a little chilly, but we're trying to make sure that we're ready for anything that Mother Nature might throw at us right now. So thank you.
Good deal. And that does remind me, we're going to be delivering the State of the County address to the chamber. I believe that's January 21. And we'll be sending out an invitation. I don't think there's a cost involved in registering for the event. I will double check that, but you're all invited. I can tell you it's not going to be a long State of the County address because, as you know, we've spent much of the past year just kind of battening down the hatches and trying to just navigate COVID. But there are some good stories to tell and also some things to talk about coming in the future, hopefully, for Henderson County and our community. I want to piggyback on, again, on the compliment of Amy Brady and her team. We had 2 COVID cases up here in our department. We have one that has been cleared, which is great. We've tested everybody up here. The other case is recovering, and that's great too. But Amy Brady did cut loose some of her team to fog the entire courthouse and make sure everything was as clean and sanitary as could be, and we appreciate her doing that. They've got it down to a pretty good science there using the fogging machines. They've offered that help around the county to agencies of various sizes. So, thanks to Jayla Brady. Anything else? Anything else for good of the county?
Hey, Brad,
Judge, just a question on that State of the County on the 21st. Does that conflict with that transportation department conference?
It will a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the State of the County will start at 11:30. Again, we'll get you these details, but you will have to, and this is going to be done virtually as well.
Okay.
So
right.
you have to leave KBT for a bit if you want to hear me talk about the things we all already know.
Gotcha.
but
Thank you.
Brad?
Yes, sir.
For the COVID test, I think now if you're over 70, I think you can, sign up and get the test.
Vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'm of course over 70, so I qualify. My wife is not, but we found and have talked to some people. At the end of the day, they need to use up whatever bottles they have opened up. And if you're willing to be on standby, people may be able to do that. We are, my wife and I are signing up to do that. I want to be on the same schedule as my wife. It's not going to do me any good to get it. And then if I bring it home to my wife, then she doesn't have the vaccine, then that would just be terrible. So we want to do it together. And, but just for the public, probably should know that may be a possibility that, if you're available, you live close to the hospital, that you may be able to work into that situation.
Yeah, I was in the same situation as you, Charlie. I was scheduled for one Friday, but I had an injection 3 days prior to that, so I had to cancel mine. And I did find that website for Deborah Ann where you can sign up and on that standby thing.
Right.
So hopefully we can kind of time this. I rescheduled mine for the very last day that they were offering the vaccines on January 23rd on a Saturday, I think it was. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to coordinate myself.
Right. We're in the same boat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the county issued the copy of the online link to schedule a vaccine, and you could probably use that link to find out information about being on the standby.
Absolutely.
So hope everybody gets what they need. Anything else? Okay, now I will go ahead and make the motion to go into executive session. Again, KRS 61.810 subsection G, discussions between public agency and a representative business entity, discussions concerning a specific proposal. If any open discussions would jeopardize deciding retention, expansion, and upgrading of business. So I make that motion. Can I get a second?
You got it.
Scotty's. Hey, you might want to write
Hold
on
on a
it.
second.
That was a second by Master Putman, and I will ask anybody who is not on fiscal court to kindly exit the meeting out of executive. Oh, Charlie.
Brad, I'd like to just ask one question then.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 We're now out of executive session, and with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Magistrate Barry, a second by Magistrate Putman. All those in favor can leave and call me individually if you have any further questions. Thank you very much, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, everybody.